Hey friends. All right, so I wasn't planning on cooking tonight. I know everybody is busy prepping and getting ready for the holidays, but I ran to the grocery store late last night. I mean, like right before close. I was running in. I just had to grab one thing, and they had a rotisserie chicken left, and they was like, "Here, take this with you." And I was like, "Well, I don't really need it," but I was like, "Well, I can make something with it." So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just going to make a super easy, delicious casserole. Y'all will love this. So I have some water over here that has just come up to a boil, and I'm going to put some elbow pasta in there, 2 cups. And in my water here, I put in a little bit of bouillon, to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Now, the great thing about this, not only is it great for leftover chicken or rotisserie chicken or whichever you have, it is also great to make this if you have leftover macaroni and cheese, because this is basically like what I call it is a macaroni and cheese Dorito chicken casserole. So it's really good though, quick, few ingredients, no chopping, no cut. I don't even chop up any vegetables to put in this. I just use all the powders and the seasonings. Now you could even throw in a bag of frozen veggies if you want to, make it a little bit healthier for the kids. But anyway, so I have everything ready to go here. I'm just going to wait on my pasta. I'm not going to cook it all the way because, we're going to toss it in the oven for a few minutes. But I'm just going to let it get a little bit softened up and drain it, and then I'll come back and we're going to mix this thing up. Okay, y'all, our pasta is over there draining, so let's mix up our little sauce mix so far. So, I always like to keep out a little bit of the pasta water, so I'm going to pour a little bit of that in there because that's going to help our cheese and everything melt down. I have just a little bit of Velveeta here, not much, just a couple of ounces. This is probably the same amount that would be like in a packet of macaroni and cheese box, okay? So I'm going to toss that in. Okay. I'm going to do this first little part here basically like I would do macaroni and cheese since I didn't already have some made. But if you already have it made, then you can skip all this part because you've already got your cheese and all of that done. So now I'm going to put in just a little spoonful of sour cream. I don't think we're going to need too much. About like that. It helps thin out the cheese along with your pasta water. Now, if you don't want to do the pasta water, you can also do milk. I don't keep milk on hand that much, so I just do the water. Okay. Let me get this off my hand. All right. And we're just gonna let this melt down. There you go. Let me turn this up a little bit. But listen. All right. So y'all hear me out for all the busy mamas out there. So just say you have a little bit of extra time one night and you make dinner. And you make some kind of chicken, whether it be baked chicken, grilled chicken, whatever it may be, and you have macaroni and cheese. Go ahead and make extra macaroni and cheese and extra chicken, okay? Then the next night, or even you can wait to the second night, then all you need is a few ingredients and you can make this dish. And dinner will be done in no time, like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes prep work, and then 20 minutes in the oven and you have dinner done. So keep that in mind. Like I always would do things like that when my boys were young and I was so busy and doing sports and homework and all of those things. There's so many things that when you do cook, you can make extra and then you can make a whole different meal out of it. But now this is delicious too if you just want to go ahead and throw it all together like I'm doing tonight. But I know I've told y'all, a lot of my casseroles and just one pot meals and stuff have come from having leftovers. That's how a lot of them have come about, and they're so good, and it's just a different little meal. But anyway, let me let this cheese melt, y'all, and I'll come back and we'll mix it up. Okay, y'all, our cheese is pretty much melted. We still have a few pieces in there, but that'll be okay. And I meant to tell y'all too, you don't have to use Velveeta. You can use just a shredded cheese, whatever you have. I just happen to have this Velveeta, and I was getting low on all my cheddar cheese little blocks, and so I decided to use some of the Velveeta. So next thing we're going to add in here is some of this garden vegetable cream cheese. Now you can use the chive. I think there's one that's like chive and something. Any of them that you want. Any of them work great. Okay. So we're going to do the whole package of this. Okay. This adds a really great flavor to our casserole. Now I love just this right here with crackers, don't y'all? Whatever's left in this little container, I may scrape it up with a cracker. I don't know. But this is really good, and I like I think it's onion and chive and onion, I'm not sure. But I know they do have a lot of them. But anyway, so we're going to mix that in, let that kind of melt down. It's not going to take long because this has done got good and hot now. Okay, and now we're going to add in some cream of chicken. Now, I don't know if we're going to add this whole can because I'm not sure if I have enough pasta for it, because I had right at 2 cups, and I probably could have used a little bit more, but that was all that I had of that kind. So I don't want to get it too soupy. So I'm going to start with maybe just a little over half a cup. And then if I need to add the rest, I will. I have tons of pasta in the cabinet, y'all, but you know how it is. You have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Have y'all ever thrown it all together and made a dish? I have definitely done that myself. Okay, so as y'all can see here, it's just all this is just melting up really good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and throw our pasta back in. Okay. All right, like I said, this is just 2 cups of elbow pasta. You can use any kind you want. Okay, give that a good mix. Oh yeah, I think that looks good. It just looks like a good macaroni and cheese, except we have all the other stuff in there. Okay. So now I'm going to add some more of our pasta water for sure, because we do not want it to be thick. So that's why it's always good to save that, because it's going to thicken up a little bit once we put it in the oven. All right, y'all, I'm going to let this sit here and let it all heat up, because, you know, it gets thinner as it heats up, and then we will see, we may add the rest of our cream of chicken. And we haven't added our chicken or our spices yet, but we'll do that whenever I come back. Okay, here, just real quick, y'all, I want to show y'all what I did. I went on ahead and added the rest of that cream of chicken. And what I'm going to do here with some of our broth is pour down in here. There's some noodles down there at the bottom. And I'm just going to give this a good mix to get all of that out of the can to go back in here. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Okay, y'all, now we're going to add a few spices in this, mix our chicken in, and this is going to be ready to go in the oven. So we're going to do a little bit of garlic powder. Just sprinkle some in. No measurement required, y'all, for stuff like this. Just sprinkle it in. Like that. I'm going to do some parsley. Oh, I got out my one. This one's almost empty. I may just finish this off because I keep grabbing this one out of the cabinet. Yeah. So that's maybe about a teaspoon or so of that. And then we're going to do a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Let's see. Just sprinkle some. Maybe 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, however much you like. And then we're not going to need much salt because we did the bouillon cubes that is in the pasta water that we used. So, and then the chicken has salt in it, so not too awful much. And I'm sure that cream cheese does too. Okay. All right, let's give this a good mix. Now I'm waiting to put our chicken in last, just because that way I kind of diced it up, and that way it can kind of stay in pieces. So that's why I'm waiting to do that. All right, let's go ahead and toss that in, and then we'll put this in our casserole dish. But y'all, look at all this chicken. I tell you what, a rotisserie chicken comes out to be so much. And me and Bella have even been snacking on this. She loves rotisserie chicken, let me tell you. Like I'm sure most pets do, but she loves it. Now this is a very delicious little casserole, especially to be so quick, so easy. If your kids love macaroni and cheese, they will love this. Okay, that looks good. So let's see. Let me turn this off. Let me back this up since that burner is hot. I'm gonna spray this a little bit. And that out of my spray. Okay. Now the only thing left to do is just pour this down in here. This will be so good. Okay. Put that over there. Just kind of spread this around here a little bit. Now, if you only have half of a rotisserie chicken, like I said, that was pretty much a whole one. We had just kind of nibbled on it a little bit. But if you only have half, then just do half this recipe. Or if you want to make a lot more, make a lot more. No rules to it, y'all. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we have our nacho cheese Doritos. I had to pick these up today because whenever I decided on what I wanted to make, I thought, okay, I need to grab me some Doritos. And I know that's loud on there, y'all. I apologize. And I only bought this small bag because I knew if I had them, I would eat them. Doritos are my favorite chips. If y'all love Doritos, I could literally eat a large bag full myself. They're so good. So just sprinkle these over. Just like that. Now you can put some on the bottom too if you want. I don't really like to. I just typically put them on the top. But you can do it however you want to do. Okay, I'm going to spread these out over the top. Okay, now I have a little bit of shredded sharp cheddar over here. I'm going to put just a little bit of that on the top. We don't need much because we've got that Velveeta in there already. But just a little bit. And you don't even have to cook this in the oven very long. Just enough for it all to get really hot and bubbly. I'm thinking maybe 20 minutes, but I will let y'all know whenever I come back. So here it is. We're going to pop this in the oven, y'all, and we're going to have this delicious casserole. Okay, y'all, let's try this macaroni and cheese Doritos chicken casserole. I have to say it over in my mind so I can remember how to say it. So let me show it to you real quick before I cut into it. It looks so pretty. Looks so good and smells so good. This would be great to take to a potluck, for sure. It's something a little bit different, you know. All right, let's get the spoon out here. Let's see here. Now, I cooked this on 350 for right about 20 minutes. You don't have to cook it too long because you don't want it to cook and get too dry. But I like for it to cook long enough to let all those flavors get good and incorporated in. Look at that. I'll tell you what, that looks good. I'll just keep on getting out here. I want to get all of this out of this little corner here. And now look, like I said, if you want to add in vegetables with this, like maybe a mixed vegetable for the kids, or even some broccoli. I think some broccoli would go really great with this because of all the cheese. Or you could just serve a vegetable as a side dish, just whichever you want to do. But let's taste this real quick. There's lots of chicken in here. Those rotisserie chickens, like I said, they really have a lot to them. You don't think they do by looking at them because they're so small, but once you get to tearing into that thing, it just keeps on going. That smells delicious, y'all. What's better than some good, cheesy macaroni and cheese, Doritos, chicken? It don't get much better, y'all. Y'all love this. Your kids will too, I promise you. Because I know most kids do love macaroni and cheese. And I mean, I think next time I make this, I may put some broccoli in it. I think broccoli, cauliflower, any of that would be great. Even just a bag of frozen veggies would be great in this. And then you have your whole meal all in one with all your good stuff. We get one more bite. Delicious. Like I said, it's just so easy. You can do this with just your leftover stuff if you want, or if you just want to make this, it's definitely worth the time just to make it because it's still so super quick and easy. But anyway, y'all, like I said, I know it's just kind of a crazy time right now. Everybody's in their kitchen and they're busy and they're not really having time to worry about what I'm doing. But come back later on, just whenever you get time, and watch this video and look at this recipe and try, and I know y'all will love it. All right, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.